The winning blueprint presents.
While you're here, go ahead and sub up.
For those of you who don't know, I am Lou, the host of the show In the Lab Room. Here, just simply talking football. Watch some preseason ball over the weekend. And so let's talk football. We're talking Carolina Panthers today as they took on the Chicago Bears in a home preseason matchup, their first of this preseason. Let's talk about the game, what I saw. Again, not going to be very long-winded. Let's get straight to the point. Let's talk Carolina Panthers football in this first preseason game. All right, so we get straight to what I thought that were some very key points in this football game to start with Cam Newton. Let's talk about his overall performance before we get into the specifics. And I thought that Cam was okay. And I need to see more from him. Again, first preseason game. You're going to get the rust off and you get the jitters. Of course, anytime you play football, you get the little butterflies in your stomach. And so I need Cam to start maturing in front of my eyes. I need to start seeing the maturation, not as a leader. I think he's starting to get that, and over time, he'll grow and show that, hey, I can be a leader on this team. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the mental side of making the right decisions and not staring down receivers and not having your favorites out there. Yes, you're going to have guys that you want to get the football to, a la Steve Smith, Greg Olsen. But don't forget the other guys out there on the field because you have your favorites. We'll talk about that here in a second. So let's get to the specifics of the game. Cam telegraphed that slant on the first play. On that first throw, Cam telegraphed, and that's why Charles Tillman was able to get in there basically simultaneously as the football arrived to Steve Smith on that slant. You can't stare down receivers in this league. We'll talk about that a little bit more later on, and I'll talk about why this was so important later on in the game. But you cannot, in this league, telegraph where you want to go with the football. He absolutely stared down Steve Smith from the jump on that snap, telling Charles Tillman, hey, I'm coming over there with the football. Can't do it. Look at that first third down conversion. And I thought Cam calmly went through his progressions. He stood tall in the pocket, went through his reads, found Steve Smith, and I think Steve Smith might have been his third option on that play. And he came back across the field. He started left, came all the way back across the middle of the field, found Steve Smith. And it was a bullet pass, had to be where it was. Between two defenders, Steve plucked it out of the air and got up the field and got the first down. Loved the protection there. On that play, the offensive line did their job, and they did it well. And I thought Cam had time to go through his progressions, feel comfortable in the pocket, and he made a really good throw. You look at that second third down on this possession, and before I even move on there, I want to say that I thought they ran the football very effectively early on. We'll talk about the run game a little bit later as well, but I thought they ran with D'Angelo Williams. Good to see him starting. You know how I feel about D'Angelo Williams and feeling like he needs to have more of a better and bigger role in this offense. I thought he looked really good out there in his carries. On that second third down, Cam, I thought, missed an open Brandon LaFell. He ran a nice jerk route. He came across, he stopped. The linebacker was covering him in a kind of zone coverage, and LaFell gave him a jerk move. He stopped, and then he hesitated, and he went over the middle, wide open. I'm talking about it. Cam hits him on that third down. It was probably about 37. LaFell is probably going to pick up about 21 yards over the middle of the field. Instead, he elects to go to one of his favorites, and this is what I'm talking about, to Greg Olsen. And the decision to throw it to Olsen wasn't a bad one. I thought that the decision to throw it to LaFell would have been a lot better. It would have yielded a completion and a big gain, and it would have really set you up in a position to probably score some points on that opening possession. Instead, he elects to go to Olsen. And again, the decision wasn't bad. It wasn't the best throw, though. He threw it to the inside, allowed cornerback Tim Jennings to be able to make a play on the football. Instead of him throwing it outside, allowing Olsen to use his huge frame and that big advantage over a cornerback that's 5'9" or 5'10" and Tim Jennings. He threw it to the inside and allowed Jennings to make a play on the football, breaking it up. And so you had to punt because of that incompletion on third down. You look on the defensive side of the football, first possession, you got to love it. Josh Norman, first play, picks off Jake Hunt. And it doesn't get much better than that for a start to your season on the defensive side of the football. Norman came, jumped the route, and he bobbled it a little bit, but he came away with the pick. That's all that matters. Gets the Panthers in great field position. That's something you want to build off of in this season. Getting turnovers, breastfeeding that offense, giving them the football in situations where they can put points on the board, which the Panthers ultimately did after this pick. Let's go to the running game now. And I said that I was impressed with D'Angelo Williams, but I wasn't overly impressed with the run blocking on this very night. And it's early. It's the first game. And so you're going to have to work out the kinks. You let go of Hart Gardner. And look, you got Williams in there. I wasn't that thrilled with Williams in this game. And we'll see how he progresses. But Amini Sulatulu, I thought he whipped on a block and allowed Nate Collins to get in on a 3 or 4 yard loss along with Lance Briggs on one tackle on D'Angelo Williams down by the goal line. I thought that Williams absolutely whipped on a block and allowed one of the young rookies, Kasim Green, to get in there and tackle Williams for a loss. And so you can't have all these losses. Look, for every 7 yard run D'Angelo Williams had, every 4 yard run, every nice little scamper he had early in this game, there was some kind of loss. And in this league, you can't lose yards. Look, if I get tackled for a 1 yard gain, if I get tackled for a minimal gain, fine. You can't have 3 yard losses on second down, which is what happened on that first possession when Cam ended up incomplete with Greg Olsen. You get a nice little gain on first down, you go back to the run, you lose 3 yards, and now it's 3rd and 7. Can't have it. You get down to the goal line on first down, you get down to the 1. On second down, you blow a assignment on the run, and boom. Yeah, Williams doesn't block. Kasim Green comes in unabated. It's 3rd and goal from the 4 now. You can't have it. Guys have to do their job in the run game blocking, be more consistent. I thought they were solid, but you had some missed assignments. I can't condone a lot of lost yardage on running plays. Can't have it. So on 3rd down, after that loss, I thought that the Panthers took their time. They called the timeout. And Brandon LaFell got open, and I thought Cam Newton did a wonderful job. And here again, offensive line doing their job, giving Cam Newton time to survey the field. This was a drag route that Newton allowed to really develop as LaFell came across the formation, was able to get free from a linebacker. Newton laid it out there. LaFell went and got it, walks into the end zone, and I thought that was a great play on the part of Newton and LaFell. I think LaFell is really rounding himself into a very reliable number 2. This is a contract year for him. I expect big things from him. He was open all night. But Cam has to stop picking his favorites and start making sure he's spreading that football around to the open man, not to guys that he trusts, but to guys that are open. And LaFell, I thought, was open all night, and he hit him on that touchdown pass. We go back to the defensive side of the football after that touchdown, and I thought the defense was solid on that second possession. You get Luke Kuechly in there. He gets a couple of tackles, 1 for a loss. This guy's so instinctive, so tough, so reliable. I love Luke Kuechly. He gets in, makes a tackle in the backfield on Forte, then goes out in the flats and gets Forte after he makes a little move and gets about 4 yards. They get on 3rd down and pressure. You guys flush Jay Cutler out of the pocket. He's forced to throw it away. Great defensive possession. That's 2 back-to-back great possessions defensively for the Carolina Panthers. I thought you really came out and played really well on the defensive side of the football. You get the ball back to your offense. Solid field position. Joe Adams makes a really good punt return. I really like to see that out of Joe Adams. That was a very nifty return. It'd be nice if you can get something out of your special teams this year. Cam makes a bad decision on the pick 6 by rookie John Bostic. And I thought that was a wonderful play by the rookie first and foremost. But this was all Cam, again, staring down Greg Olsen. And I talked about this earlier, and I said we were going to come back to it. You cannot stare down receivers in this league. Cam has a nasty habit, it seems like, of staring down receivers that he wants to get the football to. And another thing, he loves throwing the football to Steve Smith. He loves throwing the football to Greg Olsen. It's no secret, teams around the league know, hey, let's key on these 2 guys because Cam wants to force feed these guys the football. He has to spread it around. Hey, if you don't like what you see on any given route, there's always a check down. Or guess what? The great equalizer, run. And I say that all the time. Do not force the football to Steve Smith or to Greg Olsen. He forced it to Greg Olsen. He telegraphed it. He stared him down. John Bostic was watching him, reading his eyes, saw where he was going with the football. Then Cam made it even worse by making a horrible decision to actually pull the trigger. Bostic picks it off. Pick six the other way. Can't happen. Cam has to be better than that. You look at Greg Hardy, though. This guy's a wild man. I love him. He's a madman. He's out there getting pressure on the quarterback. He's got an attitude. He's in people's face. He's got the jersey halfway up, old school style, like he's in the 90s. I love Greg Hardy. This guy plays with an edge, with an attitude, and he was getting pressure. This Bears offensive line did not look like a very special revamped offensive line. I thought you were getting pressure on Cutler, making him uncomfortable, and Greg Hardy was one of the biggest reasons why. You also had a beautiful sack of Jay Cutler. It was a meeting at the quarterback. You had Mr. Johnson in there. You had K'Wan Short, your rookie, in there, as well as your other fellow rookie, Scarlett Tulele. And so all of these guys met at the quarterback. It was a thing of beauty. Collapsed the line. Cutler had nowhere to go. This defense was really clicking on this night in this first preseason game. Really impressed thoroughly with this defense. And it's funny because a lot of Panthers fans have been talking about this defense and how improved it was and how dangerous it's going to be. And if they continue to play like this, getting after the quarterback, making them uncomfortable, and Keechley in the middle of this defense, really holding it down, this is going to be a tough defense to really make hay on. You look at, it's something I just want to wrap up with. Do you trust Derek Anderson? God forbid anything happened to Cam Newton in Carolina. Because damn it, man, I do not trust Derek Anderson. Okay? Woo! Let's talk about a couple of throws that really irked me with this guy. You guys better be careful because he misses a wide open Ted Ginn Jr. Wide open. Okay, fine. It happens. But then he comes back and damn near throws a pick six. And you're thinking to yourself, what are you doing? And you could argue, okay, maybe the receiver ran the wrong route. But just in case you thought it was the receiver's fault, he comes back and throws one of the easiest picks you'll see. I mean, the defender is standing there in zone coverage, looking right at Derek Anderson, and he says, here, take this one. Can you catch? The guy says, sure, I can catch. Picked it off. Can't happen. I don't know what he was thinking. I know there was a little bit of pressure. You can't do it. I don't care if there's pressure in your face. You can't do that. I don't trust Derek Anderson farther than I can throw him, guys. You better not have any injuries at the quarterback position, or you're going to be in some trouble. And that's my wrap-up of the Carolina Panthers first preseason pick.
Like the content? Want more? Sub up.